up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, y'all? What's going on? We are down here, honey. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. I haven't decided. We got 3 shows to talk about this morning. P-Valley. Oh, I did not stop for that light. P-Valley, House Atlanta, and Married to Medicine. So I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. Let's think. All right, let's see what we can talk about. I don't know what I want to talk about. Maybe let's talk about, I guess we could talk about P-Valley. I'm gonna park right here. It's not really that, it's not really, it's not really, it's not really, too much gloss on, honey. Okay. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's talk about P-Valley. So we get, because P-Valley was super long. For me, I had so many notes. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know. Okay, let's do P-Valley. This is episode 8 of P-Valley. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know that you stopped by. Yeah, we're down here, okay? Pole practice. Mercedes is up there on the pole. Her shoulder is still messing with her. She gets frustrated. She sits down and she's like, fussing with herself. Not really saying much, but you could just tell she's not pleased with herself, and she starts to cry, and Uncle Clifford comes in and says, rule number 54, 55, ain't no crying in the pink. So Mercedes says, well, if you want, she said that Mercedes, it's all in Mercedes' head. What's happening? It's not her shoulder. It's all in her head. And then she said, well, if you try, I'll try to keep the pink. Then I'll try to get up on this pole. Baby, when I tell you the way I was hollering when Haley asked to see Mercedes dance, and she got up on the stage and started stomping. I do not like aggressive strip dance routines. I don't like aggressive. I don't like all that stomping and falling and jumping and all that. It just gives me, I don't know what, I don't like the aggression. But she jumped up on the stage and then she wrapped her leg around the pole and she started doing like this on the pole. I was like, girl, calm down, girl. Calm down. That shit was so funny to me. I said, why is she so aggressive? I'll tell you, I cannot stand them aggressive strippers that want to be falling down hard. They be like moving so aggressively. And I don't know if that is like, I don't know how that riles the men up. I don't know. I don't get it. Does it rile y'all up when they be aggressive on the pole like that? Not to me. I love a slow dance. I love a slow, sexy. That's what I like. I don't like that aggression. That's too masculine for me. I like a little softness, a little soft, right? Girl. I mean, I love acrobats. Now, don't get me wrong. I love an acrobat. I love a girl to flip around and do the splits in the middle of the air, bitch. But that aggression, falling down on the floor, slamming down on the floor. But would Mercedes slam down on the floor because she couldn't get her shit together? Mercedes, I don't know what Mercedes is gonna do. Whisper said it looked like her grandmother is trying to put on some Wi-Fi, trying to fuck with the Wi-Fi. What she say? It was a mess. So, Little Murder, LaMarcus is getting a haircut, honey. So I guess we're using, because this is the second time that someone has referred to Little Murder as LaMarcus. So I don't know if they're trying to humanize him. I don't know what's happening with LaMarcus, but at the end of this motherfucker, you remember why they call his ass Little Murder. Okay. He's getting a haircut, and Uncle Clifford is cutting his hair. And they was arguing about, having unprotected sex. They was fussing because Lamarcus said that he extended. Oh no, Uncle Clifford said because you extended an olive branch. Lamarcus said that was an oak tree. That was no. Bitch, I let you fucking nut in me. What are you talking about? I don't know where you been. He's like, well, everywhere I've been protected. Can you say the same? No answer. Because remember, at Uncle Clifford's birthday, she had a little fun with the guy in the skates with the skates. Y'all don't forget that, okay? She gets on the phone with the hospital. The hospital finally picks up and they said, Uncle Clifford, I don't know how many times you got to call up here. You just called up here 45 minutes ago. No news is good news. So stop calling up here. Uncle Clifford gets frustrated. She grabs her purse and keys and stuff. Little Murda says, "Where are you going?" She says, I'm going nowhere. Where's she going? I'm going somewhere unlike the nowhere you're going. I said, oh. And he just left standing in the kitchen looking crazy. Mercedes runs up with Maine, right? She sees Maine. He then got out an early release due to, C-19 or whatever. And so he still has an ankle bracelet. He tells her he misses the view. She said that she tried calling him and he was like, he kind of looked off to the side and was like, yeah, it's kind of hard. I thought that was weird. I don't know what it is about him. It's something about him that I feel uneasy with her. With him, I just don't trust that dude. I do not trust that dude at all. At all. He says he's having a welcome home party, and she says, I'll see if I can move some things around. He says, oh yeah, I like when you move your things around. And she runs off, and he was like, oof, weesh, like, shoo, look at her running away, child. Mm-mm-mm. So at a diner, Haley is sitting up at the diner, and Keyshawn rolls up. Keyshawn hands her birth certificate. She says, you have 3 passports coming up. They're making an escape, honey. She says she invites her back to the Pink and tells her, I'll give you the floor and I will get the door, you get the floor, or something like that. That's what she said. So she's gonna help her escape, and she says, where's the first place you think you plan on going? And as she was about to tell her, she was like, cardinal rule number 1, don't tell nobody where you going. Very few people. I mean, there are people who literally move in silence, but some people, they just can't. They talk too much. Like, she was about to tell her, and I was like, girl, what are you doing? I wouldn't tell her shit. I don't give a damn. She said, even the people that are helping you, you don't tell them nothing. I said, I know that's right. She said, I looked up Haley Colton, and it said she had drowned. She said, and yet she's sitting here in a coffee shop in Chucalissa, in a little town called Chucalissa. She was like, okay. As Keyshawn gets her, her bacon cheddar fries. What she have, bacon fries or something? She leaves, and as she leaves, we see a television ad with Andre Watkins talking about his father. His father he knows who his father is. His father is on death row for murder. So he's embarrassed, right? And I love the lady in the background. She said, I know a nigga when I see one. I knew he wasn't shit. His father is on death row. So we find out about that. So we know his father is alive. Abraham Watkins, and he's on death row. Corbin and Andre are back at the headquarters at Andre's house, at the mayor's house, right? And he said, I thought you said you didn't. I told you to tell me all about all the skeletons you had in your closet from here to Atlanta. Why the hell you didn't tell me that about your father or whatever? And he says, are you proud of your dad? He says, well, when you start paying for a campaign, we'll worry about my daddy. My daddy, because we know where you come from, honey. What you are the dirty little secret. What does brother tell him? You are the dirty little secret, you little half nigga. Bitch, when Uncle Clifford called call Corbin a half nigga? Baby, I'm trying not to laugh so loud because this man is in the car next to me. I don't want him in my business, but I screamed. Okay, Corbin is pissed off, right? He tells everybody to get out of the room or whatever. As they're running their mouths, they see another ad for Patrice. Patrice says she was a hoe and she was sucking dick, and I had to bitch slap a bitch several times. And yeah, I did a little bit of check fraud too. Because Chuckalisa, what she say? Because Chuckalisa didn't make her way for her. So she had to do what she needed to do. But now she is a woman of God and she hoed. So you bitches could fly. Bitch, Patrice is a mess. Yeah, I sucked some dick and I bitch slapped a couple of bitches and did a little check fraud. At least she owned her messy. That's what he said. At least she owned it. She ain't got no choice but to own it. So as Corbin leaves, and then Andre gets a call from Haley, and he declines the call. Next, we see Keyshawn and Derek. Derek comes in, and he says that he bought Keyshawn some shoes, right? He puts, Cinderella, she sits down in the chair. He's about to put the shoe on her, and remember the dress didn't fit either, and I told y'all that was a goddamn sign that since the dress didn't slip on, it wasn't a perfect fit, that this wasn't your goddamn prince. And I tell you that. And now she's putting this shoe on and she can't get it on, and she was like, it's too small. She said, my feet done spread after two children, some things change. He says he can't do anything right. Then he starts to hit himself, to get a little bit of sympathy from her, right? So he starts to hit himself on his head, talking about he can't do anything right. She looked up, bitch, when she was at the kitchen sink, and he started hitting himself, talking about, I can't do nothing right. I can't do nothing right. She looked up at him like, ooh, girl, I'm glad when I get the fuck away from this. Girl, it was a mess. Don't give up on me. And she was like, some things can't be bought. Okay, well, what do I gotta do? You could go back to OnlyFans. We could get your thing set up in OnlyFans. Or you could go back on tour. She was like, no, he was like, you want to dance at the Pink? And she was like, yeah, that's where I feel free. He was like, well, bad things happen there. And she was like, and then he was like, okay. And then like he's on his knees with his head in her stomach, and she's rubbing his head, and then she just smiles. This little crazy ass smile, because she's on her way out. We'll see if she gets to leave. This is an attempt, another attempt. How many times has she tried to leave so far? Because the statistic is it takes a person 7 times to leave an abusive relationship. They try to leave 7 times. Girl, it is not that serious. Girl, he has on like a hazmat mask, to where you have to put on if you going into like hazardous material, with the two things on the side. Girl, it is not that damn serious. So anyways, Corbin is talking to his brother Kyle. That's his name. Is that his name? Kyle something. Kyle, I forgot his first name. But anyways, he tells Corbin he's the dirty little secret. Why you didn't tell, it's messing up the race and all this other stuff. They said they didn't know if Patrice was really messing up the race. He said, well, Patrice, I know that's what Clifford told Corbin, that Patrice is motivated by money. Basically, you can get her to drop out, or get her to drop out if you give her money. That's all she really wants, is some money. He was like, it's a lot of little half black bastards are a dime a dozen around here. Basically, your father was one of the good ones. And you got more than your fair share. Um, he tells him, I have the thing that you can never buy. You know what that is? I assumed he was talking about his whiteness. That's what I assumed. Um, then you see, what's her name? I forgot her name. What's her name? Did I write her name down? The woman, the smart mouth, what they call them, little sassy white woman. She was sitting in the beauty shop, right? She's sitting in the beauty shop. She got Coke cans in her hair. She's sitting there. They just, talking. Haley walks in. The beautician, if you can call her that, she says, Shanae's Beauty Supply is down the street. I said, shout out to Martin. See, he get his flowers. She said that she loves being a widow. She said there ain't no use to lying about who you are. She says she wants a contract of $10 million. She says, I like women like you because you know your beauty and you know that you have beauty basically. And you also know that your worthiness isn't in your beauty. And that makes you a dangerous woman. She says, but then your beauty and your worthiness starts to decline. It's starting to decline. She says 5 million is my final offer. She says, y'all always talking about reparations. Here you go. I said, bitch, you bitch. I knocked her ass over in that damn salon chair, bitch. The fuck are you talking to? This is my last and final offer. Now you can risk it. You gonna fold or you gonna hold? She said, I'll see you at the polls. And she walked away and homegirl lit her cigar. So we gonna see what's gonna happen, child. Haley is holding out for that $10 million. So I wonder. Anyway, so we're at the morgue and Big Tika's laying on the table. And you could see the bullet entrance on his head. And LaMarcus is, he kind of touched it. And he says, how do you deal, with this? How do you deal with always being basically at the end of somebody's life? And he says, because I know death intimately. And he says, or you death himself. We've been saying that, right? We've been saying that Wody is the angel of death, right? And also that you should probably be weary of a man who works in a morgue. He's not afraid of death. He's not afraid of looking at death. He sees death all the time. He says, Rome asked for it. He says, you can't just be ending folks' life like that. You ain't God. That's what he said. You saw at the end, I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm confused because you was just telling Wody that he couldn't end people's lives because he ain't God, and here you are. Okay. Well, Rome asked for it. He says, you can't tell people, you can't just be ending folks' lives like that. He said, you tell Big Teak that. I said, bitch, how the fuck? Why would he say that to him? I said, God damn. He was like, some shit needs to balance out. Rome was a player, a manipulator, a rapist. And it was either going to be him or you, and it was going to be him. He says, well, we're all God and we're all the devil too. Don't I tell y'all that? Don't I tell y'all that? We're all of it. We are all of it. We come from all of it. You embody all of it. God is all of it and none of it at the same time, just like you. We're all, because you are an extension of that. You are created from that. So why wouldn't you think that you would be that? I love Wody's character. I love his character. We are all God and we're all the devil too. I said, come on. He said, what's this tape you got? He said, I think Rome showed Keyshawn this tape. And he said it was something, he was 15 years old, I think he said. And then he says, you do what you had to do, I guess, to feed his family. I don't know. That was very cryptic. Of course, they didn't get into it, but he was just like something he had to do. Well, I deaded that shit. He was like, well, how do you know he hasn't already sent it to anybody? He was like, well, I'll handle it if anything comes of that. And he just looked up in the sky and he was like, why me? He was like, well, one of us got to make it out of the hood. And why can't it be you? Right? I think one of the things I think that is so important for real. And I think DL Hughley said something about rappers and their names and stuff like that. It's so true. I'm getting chills just talking about all the hairs on my damn arm is standing up. Because his name is Little Murder. And you just think about all of these rappers and the names that they choose for themselves. The word carries a vibration. The universe doesn't know what is happening, right? The universe is just listening to the vibration of the word. Your name means something. Everybody's name means something. Your nicknames, everything means something. That's why it's so important when you name a child that you give it a name that is a good name, because it's a vibration. They're always going to say their name. You keep calling yourself little murder, little murder, little murder, and it's just death around you all the time. Where do you think that, how do you think that happens? You're saying something and calling it. You're calling it. You got to be, like I said, I don't understand how Black people who follow biblical principles, whether they are devout or whatever, raised in it or whatever, and you done heard the elders say there's power in your tongue, you've read it yourself, and yet and still as people we move and say and repeat phrases and things that really carry a vibration. Like literally Black people chant in unison, no justice, no peace, and then wonder why the state of their community has no justice or no peace. And what's really fucked up about it, I don't know where the phrase came from, but I have a feeling it came from a Black male leader. I don't know where the term no justice, no peace came from. And then also, saying I can't breathe. I said it on this channel before, but for the new people, that saying that stuff and then wearing I can't breathe on your chest. So that's not smart. But you understand, as a people, as a culture, there is power in the tongue. And yet y'all say things over and over again in unison, chanting them and just bringing it and bringing it and bringing it and bringing it. Be mindful of your words. Same with the rapper's name. Same with your children's names. When you're picking your children's names, think long and hard, because it's something that's going to be said all the time by them and other people for the rest of their lives. Seriously. Go look up your name, the meaning of your name, if you can find it. Go look up the meaning of your name and see what your name means, and see if does something about your life kind of embody your name. And it's so crazy, because when people get old and be like, your name fits you so well. Well, shit, it's been the energy this whole time. And some people say your name doesn't fit you at all. The vibration is off. It doesn't resonate with you. It's real. Black people, get your shit together. I'm telling you. We at the opening, and my girl is back. Baby, Mississippi walked in that damn club. Diamond almost dropped to his knees, honey. Did you see his face? I said, oh. Big Bone was looking like, bitch, who the fuck is this bitch, right? So they said Mercedes got a new dance to do. Mercedes grabbed that pole so hard, wrapped her leg around the pole and started doing her body like this on the floor. I was like, bitch, if you don't get a hold of yourself and act like you got some sense. Anyway, so Big Bone put the music on or whatever. Aggressive pole dancing. I said it was awful. If the headliner isn't ready, Mississippi walked in, honey. I got a headliner. She said, Roulette and Whisper, girl, they ain't gonna do shit. She was like, no. I got something better than that. I got the pistol starter, honey. I got the pistol starter. Yes. Come on. She came in looking so cute, and that was what the Diamond said. We love your lashes. The girls are, talking to Keyshawn, and they're telling her how they look up to her and stuff like that. And you can hear Haley and Uncle Clifford in the back hollering at each other. Haley, Lakeisha, Riri, whatever her name is, honey. They offer Mississippi some cocaine. She was like, no, I'm good. I thought there was no drugs at the Pink. They just breaking all the rules, hoeing everything. They really just heaven and hell, breaking all the rules. The angel and the little devil. Baby, I told you, Roulette gave me my fucking life on this episode. Everything, baby, everything. Let me get to it, honey. So Mercedes tells Keyshawn her locker is still available. Her vanity is still available. She's like, you ain't got no choice. And then she said, it's no place like home. But bitch, you can't get out of there. Mercedes, that is Mercedes' story. She cannot get out of the Pink. But now you getting old, girl. You getting older. You know, the girl said that's like watching my grandma try to set up Wi-Fi. This is tragic, right? Looking at her go through that, but she has an injury, not healing like she was before. She can't make it up the pole. You can't dance. You're doing all these crazy dances, falling on the floor, all hard, no grace at all, none at all. I was like, girl, what is happening? So I don't know what's gonna happen, but she can't ever. I mean, what you gonna do? You're gonna. My whole thing is, I always felt like Mercedes should be kind of like the mother of the crew. I know Uncle Clifford is like the mother of the crew, but I feel like the mother of the dancers, like, you know, like she was kind of at the beginning, but it's like they really don't respect her because you're getting old and you still there. You haven't given up, but you can't give up because the money is gone. Your mother done took your money, girl. Every time I see Patrice, I'd beat her ass. Every time. We'd fight every time. I'd throw something at her. A can of tomatoes. Fuck a tomato. I'm throwing a can of tomato sauce at your head, okay? Um, Uncle Clifford calls the hospital, in the car, frustrated, you know, like this, and, you know, starts crying and stuff because he realized that, you know, Grandma Ernestine is going, you know, going downhill on her way down the road into the light, honey. And Uncle Clifford looks in the rearview mirror and sees her mother. Her mother says, "Don't fight the water." Basically, don't stop yourself from crying. Go ahead and cry. Don't stop the water, but don't just cry. Get even, okay? Because the water will set you free, and that's on some real shit, and that's like a word that you guys could carry on and kind of instill into people in your, like, in your immediate area. Cry, let it out. It does set you free. Like when you, I remember the first, baby, my first, it reminded me of Marlo on Real Housewives when she stepped in that therapist's office. The first meeting, I don't know if anybody else has had this experience. The first meeting with my therapist, I boo-hooed because it was just like, even though I'm a crybaby, I cry for anything. I cry at a child singing, okay? Anybody. I cry. I'll be looking at the little babies on Instagram. I'll be crying because they're so fucking cute. I'll be like, oh my God, you in this fucking world. Oh my God, but you're so cute with your gums. They'd be so cute. I'll cry for anything. But it is a release, and it's like, oh. And if you're a person that doesn't like to cry or whatever, or likes to hide your crying, it really does set you free. Don't hold that stuff in. It's a release, and your tears, your body is reacting in a way to protect you and to soothe you, and your tears are that response, right? So, and tears come out for anything. You be laughing, tears come out. It's just tears are a release. It's good to have tears come out. That's what they're there. You got holes in your eyes for a reason. Can you imagine? God, see, y'all believe in God so much. God put these daggone holes, they're little tiny holes like a pin drop. If you ever look, when I first noticed my tear ducts, I was amazed. Like, oh my God, all that water is coming out of that little hole like that. That was put there for a reason. There is a purpose for that. Water is supposed to come out of that. Please cry. Okay? Ghetto Boys. I've never seen a man cry till I seen a man die. Okay? That was a perfect song for that. The fucking soundtrack in this episode was crazy. Ghetto Boys, right? So they're at the funeral, Big Teek's funeral. Scarface. Okay. I made a correction. I know y'all probably like, no, that's not Ghetto Boy, Scarface. Okay, I got it. I don't know what Lil Murda said when he bent down to say something to Teek. He said something about I wrote something for you, and when you were in a dark hole or something like that. He said something about being in a dark hole and you can't see in a dark hole or something, and something about writing him. Again, no closed captions. Y'all let me know what he said in the comments for those who had stream with closed captions. He lays on the casket. I thought that was such a wonderful image of him laying on the casket and the reflection. And he's just laying. He had on that all black. He looked fucking fly as fuck in that all black. As he was walking away, he walks up on some OGs and they show him, have you seen this? And it's that dude saying, I forgot his name. he was saying, I just called him Gangsta. I forgot his name. I know his son's name is Tyson. Tyson's daddy. Okay, that was crazy. He has a video. He got a gun, and he was like, yeah, basically um, eh, taking accountability, or saying that he killed Teak, because Teak was talking shit about him or whatever, but he's saying that he killed Teak, and they was like, he's claiming a body, and they were like, yeah, like, and so the OG looks at him like, and he gives him the order, and Lil Murda looks like, okay, I gotta fulfill my name, child. He's online claiming that he killed Lil Big Teak. I want to keep wanting to call him Lil Teak, but anyways, then we do anything for clout. I ain't do anything for clout. So a whole lot of people need to hear this. Yes, come on, Cardi. So they're dancing, trying to dance. Mercedes in Mississippi. I put Angel and Demon, baby. Whisper and Roulette is sitting there talking about Terry still wants your ass. And what you gonna do? You can make a lot of money and this and that. She was like, I'm thinking about it or whatever. And then that's what you see Mercedes over there doing all that heavy dancing. You saw Keyshawn doing her little dances. You could see it was like one was like really light on her feet, the other one was heavy. I was like, why is Mercedes so heavy on her damn feet? What's going on, girl? It's like watching my grandma work with her Wi-Fi. But anyways, Whisper takes out her pendulum to help her decide on whether to fuck with this guy Terry. And Roulette grabs it and then asks it to set herself, and she said it said yes. And she said, don't mess with my communication with the universe or whatever. And then she said, I'm watching you, like that. While they were there, Mercedes gets a call, and she runs out of there. She gets home, and Terica is there with Shell, and she said, they start arguing. You got her an abortion. You didn't tell the person who was caring for her. She said, well, why do you think she came and told me? Why do you think she told me? She says, because maybe because you were passed out half naked with a bottle in your hand. And she said something about their best not being good enough. And she says, I've been there for her whole life and this like that. And she's like, but you weren't there for her when she needed you the most. And she says, let me call her drunk ass a Uber. That shit was funny. They ended up leaving. Terica left with her mama, honey, because she said mama, and they both turned around and said yes. And she was like, oh, hold on. That was the same thing when Big Bone called Haley boss. Okay, boss. And Clifford said, oh, like, bitch, what's going on here? So Corbin and Uncle Clifford, they meet, right? And I don't know what Corbin was doing, something with some water. And Uncle Clifford he was like, Uncle Clifford, can you help me? She was looking like, girl, I don't do manual labor. I don't know what the hell you talking about. Not you trying to, not the house nigga trying to get the field nigga to do something. Well, that shit was funny. They talked about that hood rat pastor. Do you know what it feels like for the world to turn they nose up at you? Yes, half nigga, I do. I know what I'll never be, whatever, right? And so then Uncle Clifford said something about the water having a mind of its own. If you can't take the water, bring the water to you, or something like that. And then the water just starts spouting up. Uncle Clifford was like, oh, okay. So Whisper and Roulette, they are at the hotel room. They're smoking, trying to bring the vibe up or whatever, smoking, doing coke. Whisper says her third eye is pretty active. She doesn't know if if this is the right thing to do. Let me tell y'all something. Again, y'all be talking about God and all this stuff. When your intuition is God, okay, that is your God's voice. Is when you're hearing something, that is your God center listening, like, okay, oh, my intuition. Listen to your intuition. Have you ever noticed when you ignored your first mind, it caused you needless suffering? Listen to your first mind, okay? All you got to do is lay back and commune with the universe. So she's speaking her language to kind of, make her comfortable or whatever. She says, no funny business. I don't know you. I ain't staying if you ain't if I ain't staying, you ain't staying either. Because he was trying to get her out the room. So he could probably abuse her. These niggas are crazy. So crazy. Roulette is in the bathroom. When they're done, he throws the money on the floor. Disrespectful bitch. I was so pissed. When he threw, I rewind. I was like, did he just throw the money on the floor like that? Why do you gotta be disrespectful? Anyways, she's like, you're this is not how much it was supposed to be. This is not how much we agreed on. He's $200 short. He yells at Roulette and tells Roulette, you ain't even you ain't even you didn't even moan right. That's what he's telling her. And then she was like, nigga, I had to fake an orgasm. Basically, I'm faking the orgasm with you. Your aura is giving me a man who has never pleased a woman in his life. When I tell you, bitch, that is the drag of the drags. Tell a nigga he's not pleasing a woman. Tell him. Tell him if he cares, because usually they're just using your body to masturbate like he was and then didn't want to pay. So he starts choking her, right? Because his ego has been crushed. He starts choking her. Roulette puts a gun to his head. And she said, let's play a little game. Let's play my favorite game. Hope you like to count, nigga. I said, come on, bitch. She clicked it on herself once, clicked it on him twice. She said, I have a good relationship with death. I said, come on, bitch. She said, he said, I let her go, bitch. He was nervous. But she clicked it the third time, right? Whisper, take his clothes off. She was like, girl, no, let's go. She was like, bitch, I told you to take his motherfucking clothes off. I said, come on, get his ass. We're going to rip his entire ego out of his body right now. Okay, we're going to strip him down. And she put the gun, she said, get on your knees, nickel. She put the gun in his mouth and made him suck the gun, honey. I said, and now who got some dick sucking lips? I said, I know that's And then Dolce came through. Crazy. Yes. Cuckoo nuts. Amazing. Crazy. Yes. I was like, let's bitch, when they ran out of that, I was so hot. And when Dolce came through, I was like, let's fucking go. It was so that was the best scene of the whole episode to me. She made that nigga suck that gun and ask who has some dick sucking lips. I said, come on, bitch. That's how you gotta do these niggas. And then motherfucker Whisper told him his aura was giving off a nigga who has never pleased a woman in his life. Girl. That was the best part. So after that, the gangster, who claimed that he killed Big Teak, he's at a party or whatever. I think that it's the party for Maine or whatever. They're hollering and screaming and stuff. He goes off to the side. He makes a call to his son. That was really crazy. That was so crazy how they did that. He's on the phone with his kid, and he tells his kid, I said, oh, shit. He tells his kid that he'll be home in a little while. He was like, okay, daddy, or whatever. Baby, little Murder comes out. He got a thing around his face. You see the cigarette? I said, oh, shit, the light of the cigarette. And he got a hood on and everything. Darkness, okay? He says, I don't want no problem, man. He said, well, you talking around. He was like, I didn't shoot him. He was like, I ain't kill him. He was like, you running around acting like you God and that you took a body. So if you need to claim a body, you going to claim the repercussions that come with saying that you killed someone. I said, girl, if that ain't some mess. I said, oh, Lord, what they about to do? Baby, he says, I got, my mom. He was like, I got to take care of my mom and I got kids. I got another kid on the way. He's like, yeah, Tyson. He was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, I tell him his daddy said son, baby. And he was like, shot and killed that man. How you going to claim a body and not expect the people to come running after you? Y'all already have a crazy mentality anyway. You're crazy for even claiming that you killed somebody. Like, why would you want to do that anyway? Just got out of jail. Oh, Okay, when somebody says, oh, big somebody just got shot or something like that. So Maine, he tries to run and to go join. She was like, girl, you just got out of jail. Let the niggas who don't have ankle bracelets go figure that out. So they're back at her house, I guess, and she's putting on, bug repellent on him. And he was like, yeah, they tore me up and this and that. She was like reminiscing, like, I guess talking to him about what she did, right? And she was like, do you ever get over it? He was like, I wish I was there to protect you. That's what he said. And she was like, when does it go away? The nightmares and the guilt. When does that go away? And he was like, it doesn't go away. And the only thing you could do is make a difference in someone else's life and try to cancel out what you did. And then he starts kissing her, and then he puts his hand between her legs. That manipulation, she was like, I don't need that right now. That's not what I need right now. I'm looking for something else. I'm not looking for that. And he was like, well, I hope you find what you're looking for. And he leaves. What? So you're not going to be supportive of her in her time of need while she's telling you, reminiscing and talking about how she, killed somebody, and since you can't get anything, you just get up and leave. I hope you find what you're looking for, because I'm looking for some pussy right now. And it's not like you wasn't getting ass in jail. Anyways, Clifford is at the cemetery pouring libations for her mother, and she's crying out, saying that she's failing. She's failing. She's asking her mother for help, and just asking for help and asking to let Ernestine live, and saying how much she misses her mother, and just talking. What we do: sit with our ancestors and just talk and ask them for stuff, ask them for help, and that's what you do. Give an offering, and then ask them. They'll help you. Trust me. Baby, I almost started crying, child. Patrice, she's doing I don't know if she's doing a YouTube video. I don't know what she's doing. No live stream, StreamYard. I don't know what Patrice is doing, but she said, if I could forgive a cracker. Shaquille Oatmeal was giving donations, and then Jesus of Nazareth gave $10,000 and said, catch me outside, and it was Corbin. Corbin hands her, she called him a light-skinned trickster. Well, they be giving Corbin the blues, don't they? He gives her some money. I don't know what they were saying, child. Let's see what happens. Anyways, Roulette pulls up in somebody's car. I don't even know that guy. Oh, Terry pulls up in the dude's car, took it to the chop shop. And he was like, is anybody come looking for his car? I don't know if don't nobody need to find this car or whatever. And that was the end of the episode. The episode was really good. It was really good. My favorite scene was her making him suck that gun. I lived for it. Now that's how you a nigga. All this being the bigger person and okay, well, you don't want to we're the bigger person and I'm so sweet. No, bitch, suck motherfucking gun. Suck it. I was like, yeah. Yes, bitch been balling all day like Grady. Yes, I said, come on, let's go. That was my shit. I said, cuckoo nuts, amazing, crazy. Yes, come on through, don't you? I was so happy. That was the best scene. I'm getting chills from it. Shout out to the writers of P-Valley and the actors who execute. Execute, honey. I love it. The soundtrack, they had a good soundtrack. Scarface, Cardi B. Who else? Who else was on there? We do anything for clout. They had somebody else. It was Scarface, Cardi B, Dolce, and it was another song that somebody was dancing to. I didn't get it. But anyways, y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let me know what you think about the episode. I thought it was actually pretty good. All right. Peace.